Okay, everyone. So, good morning. Is 50-year-old Shane Lee just getting up this morning about 6:31 or somewhere around there. Might be a little off. Anyway, so we got to start working on the gap insurance, which requires my VIN number or things like that. So I hope you have the right VIN number. So anyway, I got to contact a company in Florida. But we also got a service contract, which we might get that back because we're paying off the whole truck through Gap and regular insurance, right? So again, it seems like people don't want to have any more money than I got right now. You know what I mean, right? Like they're holding me in check or something, or I'm going somewhere, right? I'm not. So between now and the first, I'm paying the last $500 to complete the 7,000 down payment. And again, after that, we'll see what happens. Might work into getting into another car by at least April. But I'll still be 2 months of Tellurides, right? And that's $2 a pop. Can be very expensive if you got a bunch of appointments and stuff like that. And it only serves Chatham County, right? Too. So, but gotta find out what the earliest is because if I need to go to Charleston or something. Now, anyway. So far, that's what I'm dealing with. Uh, Gotta go to the pawn shop because I could only get $20. I might get at least another 40 till the first, right? I'm not sure. I'll pawn two guitars and see what they'll give me. One's electric and one's acoustic, right? Just for now. And I should have about a little bit around 150 left, even after paying all the bills, but I need a lot for the whole month. Uh, that might get me to about the 15th, like I keep telling you, and then I'm broke again, right? So, now what they try to do is they try to make it so everyone has something. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, of course, right? But sometimes you might be a little under what we need. Another problem we have. That's just anybody. You know, you gotta. And some people recover quicker, slower. I mean, I'm recovering from a sacrum injury, which they only mentioned the sacral pain in the med board, right? Things like that. And the problem with like a civil accident versus a VA one is they won't give you 2 years; they only give you a year. Why is the time cut in half? VA. Why are we given less time to file? And a civilian is given twice the amount to file. You don't think that's messed up, huh? Are you trying to save the government money or us money? Or screw the veteran and then not the civilian? They're supposed to know there's a big difference between a year and 2 years. Well, yeah, one's 12 months and one's 24. So, disabled veteran might get confused and think, oh, well, I only got, 2 years to file like everybody else, right? That's impossible. To confuse that because, you're not hearing voices or anything, or you can't tell I am. I don't have arthritis because you only told me I broke my pelvis and ankle, and maybe that's what Jesus and God are treating it like. You said that. You didn't mention nothing about the sacral except that I had pain. Well, that pain continued till now. Don't you think that's strange? Yeah, if I'm healed of something like that, a sacral injury, right? You don't think the healing will continue, or you think if you acknowledge it, I'll suddenly collapse? Maybe, maybe not. Is that how a miracle works? You acknowledge it and then I become paralyzed? I don't know. Or do I say Jesus can heal me even if you acknowledge it? Right? Been healing me. And you continue to heal me till the end, right, of time, whatever, right? Exactly. See, we don't know how a miracle worked back then. No. Well, this must be part of it, but not all of it, right? Right. Because, see, a lot of people doubted when the blind man saw, but once he saw clearly, right? Now, they even went so far as to call his own parents to verify it was the blind man, right? Now, if he went blind, it was after Jesus died and resurrected. But, if you look back to it, because you don't hear nothing more about it, right? You know what I mean, right? Well, that's because, again, does he remember himself more being blind or more seeing, right? And maybe he went blind again as he got older. I don't know, right? See, Jesus didn't stick around because, hey, you murdered him, man, right? Right. No reason for me to stick around. I did my part. Right. I wonder why I went back into heaven where you don't want to hear his message. Hello. And he left it for the disciples to try and explain it to us. Well, some things in the Bible are confusing. You can't say there's not slight contradictions, because it says in Galatians, there's neither Jew nor Gentile, bond nor free, male nor female, for you're all one in Christ Jesus, right? Indicating some kind of androgyny and neutralness or mediation between all three particular classes. One is race, one is slavery, and one is gender, right? Well, but then they call him a man, and again, right? You think he's male, right? Well, you got to explain all that, Christians, right? You can't explain part of it and say, oh, that's all there is to it. Well, it's not. Do you just not want to know everything? Kind of seems that way. But that's not to condemn you, but where are we? What are we doing? What's the final mission here? And to let the world be destroyed by Satan, or to prevent it? And I mean, if the choice is ours and we're making the wrong choice still, what does that mean between God and Satan? Is Satan still winning? Is Jesus winning in God? Or is it all part of God's plan? Whether we win or lose is how you play the game. Maybe that too. All right. Have a good morning.